Hello. Welcome back to another episode of Good Grief Life After Loss. By this point, you probably know I am your host, Skylar Jackenthal. And today's episode is about something that I am sure we've all experienced if we've gone through grief, and that is people saying the completely wrong thing. And listen, most of the time, it's not coming from a bad place. People do want to help. They want to say the right thing. They really try so hard. At least I have to believe they're trying. But grief just makes people so unbelievably uncomfortable. And instead of sitting in that discomfort, they just default to the awkward cliches or things that actually, sometimes painfully, just completely miss the mark. And I do want to acknowledge that I am honestly no better than anyone else. There are so many times where I'm trying to draft a message and it's like there are no words. There is literally no right thing to say because grief actually sucks. Losing someone sucks, and there's really no words you can say that are going to provide peace and comfort to that person. And I think in some way we all know that, which is why we all say these horribly uncomfortable and awkward and inappropriate things, because it's kind of like, what's the point? There's really not much to say, and I just want to preface before this episode, I am aware, I am not above anyone. I probably said all of these things. And if you are about to listen to this episode and feel horrible because you're realizing you've said these things to me, totally fine, honestly. Maybe I thought about it for 2 minutes and thought like, wow, why did they say that? But I moved on quickly, and I'm sure in most cases, whoever you said these things to, they have long forgotten about it. We can hope. So, today we are going to talk about what not to say to someone who is grieving. And more importantly, I want to talk about how to actually show up in a way that feels supportive. And I will say the list of what not to say is much, much longer than the list of what to say, which again is for a reason, because there really is nothing good you can say in this situation. After losing someone in your life, nothing anyone's going to say is going to make you feel better. That is for sure. And honestly, I think that should not be your goal when you're trying to think of what should I say to this person in my life who just lost someone. Your goal should not be to make them feel better, because if that's your goal, you're going to fail. Your goal should just be to make them feel a little less alone and to know that you support them and you're there for them. So, let's be honest. When you are grieving, even the most well-meaning words can hit completely wrong. There are so many times after Sam died when someone would say something to me and I would just nod politely or force a smile, but inside I was either cringing or just like straight up screaming at some of the horrendous things people thought to say. Because the worst part, honestly, is that so many of those moments made me feel like I had to comfort them. I had to comfort that person. Like, I was suddenly responsible for protecting other people and their feelings from the heaviness of my grief. And that is such a lonely, exhausting, and confusing place to be. So, let's go through some of the most common do not say that phrases and why they actually make grief harder. And hopefully you can remember this episode and take it into the next difficult conversation that you need to have. Okay, the first one is like one of the top offenders. Number one, please, God, do not say, everything happens for a reason. This one feels like someone is just trying to like assign meaning to your pain before you have even had time to breathe or grieve. This one is one that I heard a lot, but I only heard it in like the very initial days after losing Sam. Like, I don't hear that anymore, but so early on, it was like people were like, I have to see the bright side of this. Everything happens for a reason. When Sam died, I seriously heard this more than I can count. And I remember thinking like, okay, cool. What exactly is the reason that my 16-year-old brother is dead? Like, what is the reason for that? It's spiritually bypassing. It erases the unfairness of what happened and honestly just skips straight to the silver lining, which in the early stages of grief kind of just feels insulting. Like there is no silver lining in this situation. And personally, I'm not a very religious person. Maybe I'd say more spiritual than religious, but I don't know what I believe is up there in the heavens or who is up there. But if there is a God up there, I don't think he's finding logic and reason in people dying, personally. Could be a hot take. I don't know. Haven't been to church once in my life, so you can just pretend I didn't say that. Instead of saying everything happens for a reason, try saying, I don't know, I'm so sorry, this is completely unfair. I'm here with you. I think I would much rather hear someone be like, this is so unfair, this absolutely sucks, rather than everything happens for a reason. It's okay. Please stop saying that. Number 2. Oh my God, this one might be worse. I think this one is. Number 2, at least they're in a better place. I don't care where they are. I want them here. That phrase just tries to soothe or again, spiritualize the pain. And again, like I just said, it completely skips over the heartbreak and is immediately trying to find the good in that moment. Even if you believe that they're in a better place, it's still not comforting in that moment. It's honestly just invalidating. And for me, I remember hearing, for Sam, at least they're in a better place. And it's like, how is there a better place than here? I don't know. So instead, maybe say, I wish they were still here. I know how much you love them. That one hits hard. That's a sad one. That would probably make me sob if someone told me that. But I'd much rather that than at least they're in a better place. Number 3. This one I feel like is kind of controversial, but let me just explain this one. Number 3 is saying, let me know if you need anything. And I'm sure I probably recently said that to someone. So again, I'm just a hypocrite here preaching to the mic. Just keep that in mind. This one is tricky because it sounds supportive, but I think what the issue is with saying, let me know if you need anything, is it puts the responsibility back on the person who's grieving. After Sam died, do you really think I'm going to reach out and be like, oh, you know what? I would actually love if you could go pick me up a pastry or bring me a drink or can you help me with my homework? No, whatever it is, no matter how many times people offer, and oh my God, when someone dies, you get so many let me know if you need anything. I'm here for you. I'll do anything you want. I will drop everything to help you. And I believe that. Everyone means it when they say that. I truly believe that. But that's on making the assumption that I'm comfortable enough to reach out and say, actually, I need something. And when you lose someone, you're barely remembering to just drink water and get up and shower and take care of yourself and eat food. You're not in the mindset of what else do I need and who can I ask to help me with that? So instead of saying, let me know if you need anything, try saying, hey, I'm bringing you dinner on Tuesday. Do you want pasta or soup? Or I will check in later this week and see what errands I can help with. Or hey, I'm going to be there in 10 minutes. I'm dropping off a gift for you. If you're free to come to the door, great. If not, I'll leave it outside. Love ya. Period. I think the more specific you are, the more helpful it feels, because someone just saying, let me know if you need anything is great, but it's what does that mean? To what extent does that mean they're going to walk my dogs for me? They're gonna, I don't know, pick up groceries or make me a meal, or they're gonna host a fundraising event for the GoFundMe to pay for funeral expenses. What does anything mean? So again, just be specific with your offer and think through that, and obviously don't offer something that you're not comfortable with or you're not able to follow through on. But personally, one of my fondest memories, can you say that after someone died? A memory that really stands out to me after Sam died is my childhood best friend, Grace. Hey, if you're listening. I remember one day after school, it must have been the first year without Sam, I think, or maybe it was really soon after we came back from Australia. I don't know. All I remember was a really hard day. And I remember laying in bed crying after school, and the doorbell rings. I open the door, and it's my friend Grace. And she's just standing there and she was like, hey, I got you like Dr. Pepper and Sour Patch watermelons. It was in a little bag. She handed it to me, gave me a hug, and left. And it was like, because so many people had offered to do things for me. And it's like, maybe I did want someone to go buy me my favorite candy because I didn't have a license. But for someone to just do it and me not have to ask, that also has so much meaning to me. And like the fact that 10 years later I still remember, that's pretty cool. So shout out Grace. Sometimes actions are better and stronger than words. So keep that in mind as well. If words are failing you and you don't know what to say to someone, acts of service, even a gift. Who doesn't want a gift? I think there's so many ways to show up and support someone when you need. Oh my God, number 4 on the list of things not to say is this is the biggest offender. And this is one thing that I have since day one been so careful to never say to anyone because, oh my God, this one pisses me off. Number 4, do not say, I know exactly how you feel. Like, no, actually, you don't. Even if you lost someone, even if you lost a brother, you still don't know exactly what my loss feels like. Everyone's grief is different. Their relationship, the timing, the trauma, the scenario, like literally everything is unique. Grief is like a freaking snowflake. No two are alike. And so when people say, I know exactly how you feel, it often feels like they're just making my pain about them. And then it's like, oh, why do you know exactly how I feel? Oh, you lost someone too. I'm so sorry. Boom, now I'm comforting you. No. This is not about you. It's about me in this situation. And I think when you're showing up for someone in grief, it's so important to remember that this is not about me. This is about them. And you have to remind yourself that. Also, while we're on the point of saying, I know exactly how you feel, I think the worst thing you can do is compare your grief to someone else's. So to be like, I'm so sorry you lost your brother. I lost my grandparent last year and it was the worst thing that ever happened to me. Like, I totally know how you feel. Like, I'm so sorry. Again, now I'm apologizing that you lost your grandparent when, again, we're not here to talk about your grief. We're here to talk about my grief. But also, losing a grandparent, losing a brother is very different. Losing a sibling and a parent is very different. Losing anyone else is different because you went through a different loss and you are grieving differently than me. So please try not to compare your loss to someone else's. Instead, try, I can only imagine what you're going through, but I'm here for you. And also, I think saying I can't imagine what you're going through, let's call it what it is, number 5, saying I can't imagine what you're going through seems empathetic in theory, but instead of saying I can't imagine, maybe you say I can only imagine, because if you try really hard, you can imagine what it feels like. And like personally, maybe this is only something I've done after losing someone in my life, I can't remember, but personally, it doesn't even take effort for me to close my eyes and make myself cry thinking about someone else in my life dying, because it's super easy to imagine that. Imagine any scenario in your mind of someone in your life dying. Like, that's not that hard to come up with. And so it's not that I can't imagine what you're going through, it's 'cause I can imagine, and imagining it is horrible and traumatic and so upsetting and awful. There's that. Or say, this must be incredibly painful. I want to be here for you however I can. Period. Acknowledge the pain without making it about yourself. Number 6 is the one that I have been told by far the most. I cannot tell you how many times I have been told, you're so strong. This one messes with my head because I know people mean it as a compliment, but it feels like pressure, like I have to keep holding it together so that people aren't uncomfortable, and if I fall apart, I'm somehow failing at grieving strongly because I have to be the strong person. But also, the reason I really don't love when people say you're so strong is because it doesn't feel true. Not to like minimize what I've gone through and making it out on the other side and being better for it. But like, I don't know, it doesn't feel like I'm so strong and I'm invincible and whatever. And it also kind of feels like to me, no one's strong until they have to be. And like, if you went through this too, you would be strong. But like, thankfully and lucky for you, you haven't gone through this, so you haven't had to be strong. Instead of saying you're so strong, try saying you don't have to be strong right now. I see how hard this is for you and I'm here for you. I like that one. That's a good one. Okay, number 7 is kind of on that same theme. It's when people say, you're doing so well, I wouldn't be able to handle it if I were you. Again, something I don't hear anymore, but something I did hear early on, and oof. This one is subtle, but definitely super common. And again, it shifts the focus to you and away from me. Well, now I have to be like, haha, yeah, it's been tough, but I'm managing to protect you from how bad and sucky it actually is. So instead of saying, you're doing so well, I wouldn't be able to handle it if I were you, don't say that. Say, you're going through something unimaginable, and I'm really proud of how you're getting through each day. Try that. Number 8. I didn't know what to say, so I just didn't reach out. So sorry. Okay, I get it. Grief is awkward. Do you not think it's awkward for me? But when someone says this, what it really means is like, I chose my own discomfort over showing up for you. Like, I was so uncomfortable that I didn't want to put myself in that situation and be around you and talk to you, so I just decided to not say anything. And then it puts me in a position of saying, oh my God, no worries, I totally understand. Like, what? Deep down, that hurts because your silence and not showing up for me feels like abandonment. And honestly, I would much rather you say a million of the wrong things and try your best and fail rather than not try at all, because that's the biggest failure of all of them. So please do not try to justify to the person in your life why you didn't show up. Show up, so you don't have to do that. Instead of saying I didn't know what to say, so I just didn't reach out, say I didn't know what to say, but I wanted to let you know I'm thinking about you and I'm here for you. Period. Like, no one knows what to say, and it's okay to acknowledge that. Like, hey, there are no words for what I want to say to you. There are no words to make you feel better in this situation, but I just want you to know I'm thinking of you. Honestly, for me, I feel like I'm thinking of you. That's one that I like to say and one that I like to hear, because it's like, hey, maybe we're not able to be together in person. You're not going to show up for me, but I'm in your thoughts. You're thinking about me. I appreciate that. I think that's pretty cool. I've got one more because I'm done bashing on people and probably making all my listeners feel bad. And again, I have said all of these, so it's fine. Number 9 is something I didn't hear back then, but I do hear now. If I tell someone about Sam, people are like, oh, I just couldn't survive that kind of loss. Like, I don't know how you survived it. Like, I couldn't have done that if I were in your shoes. I hate this one because it's like you're complimenting me. It's the same thing as like, you're so strong, you're so brave. What I hear instead of I couldn't survive your kind of loss, what I'm hearing is, oh my God, your life sounds so depressing and unbearable. I'd rather just not think about it. And again, I'm left dealing with your discomfort and comforting you while I'm just trying to survive over here and deal with grief. And you acknowledging, like, I couldn't survive with that kind of loss, again, just with that you're so strong thing, like, you think you couldn't survive that kind of loss until you have to, and then you realize real fast just how strong you are, and you're going to figure it out and get through it. So yes, you could survive that kind of loss, and if it happened to you, you would survive that kind of loss. So instead of saying that, just say, I can't pretend to understand the kind of loss you're going through, but I care about you so much, and I'm here for the long haul. I'm here for you. All right, that was a lot. We cannot harp on the past. If you've said any of these things, it's fine. We got to get over it and move on. The reason I'm doing this episode is so that in the future, we can all be better. We can all support each other in a better, healthier way, okay? Sometimes people overtalk because they're afraid of silence, but honestly, silence can be a gift, and I think that's important too. Just sitting with someone, being present, sending a text, I'm thinking of you, no need to reply. That kind of quiet support is deeply powerful. You don't have to fix grief, you just have to show up. And might I just add, saying no need to reply is something I personally add a lot of times to a message like this, because when I lost Sam, my phone freaking blew up. And even every year now on his birthday and anniversary, it's drowning in messages. And that's amazing. And I am so grateful and so appreciative. But like the pressure I feel to respond and make every person feel appreciated and let them know I read it and it means so much to me and thank them, because that's all true. But like the pressure to have to do that instead of just sitting in my sadness on that day, that pressure is again like me having to comfort you instead of dealing with my own grief. And obviously that's no one's intention when they are sending a supportive text. I'm aware of that. But I think just saying like, hey, I'm thinking of you, sending you love today. I know it's a busy day. No need to reply. Take your time. I love that, and I think everyone should give that a try. Give each other a little grace. Take the pressure off of responding. I think the grieving person in your life will truly appreciate that. So, for the grievers out there, if you are listening to this and you've heard these kind of phrases, you are not crazy for feeling hurt or offended and most importantly annoyed by the things these people say. You are not being overly sensitive or ungrateful. You are just simply doing your best to carry something unbearably heavy, and sometimes people just don't get that, or they want it to be about them. And it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to not respond. It's okay to let people know what you do need, what you don't need, or to literally say nothing at all. That is okay. Give yourself permission to not respond and not acknowledge if someone said something so completely messed up. I feel like I just went on a ramble about all the horrible things people have said to me, but I just know that list is so much longer than what I possibly covered on this episode. So I would absolutely love to hear your thoughts on this. Tell me what the worst or weirdest thing someone has said to you when you were grieving, or I guess we could be productive in here and you could tell me something that actually helped, but I'm kind of more interested in hearing the horribly inappropriate things that someone thought was helpful and said to you. You can DM me at goodgrief.pod on Instagram, use the anonymous form in my link tree, also on the Instagram, or comment in the episode. And I most definitely will be doing a follow-up to this episode. Hopefully you guys submit some stories and I can read those live on the pod. If this episode made you feel seen, pretty please give it a share, help a girl out, text it to someone who's navigating grief, or to someone who wants to better support a friend who is grieving. To all my young grievers, you are not alone, and you never have to, air quotes, be strong to be worthy of love and support. I see you. I'm here for you. This whole Good Grief community is here for you. And I hope to see you next Thursday, where we will be having our first ever Young Griever interview live on the podcast. So I will see you next Thursday. Until then, take care of your hearts, your minds, and your souls. See you next time.